travel into Jacksonville, the home of the Florida-Georgia game since 1933. And as you cross the Hart Bridge, the excitement builds. The butterflies grow larger. And then you see it, the waves of blue and orange and red and black. And you know you're not just part of a football game, you're part of a happening. It's time to get the party started. The best game in the country as the Home Depot SEC on CBS brings us to TIAA Field in Jacksonville. And the annual get-together between the Florida Gators and the Georgia Bulldogs, both ranked in the top 10. So important. We talked about it in the pregame show. We'll show you again what the SEC East standings look like. That's why this game means so much. Kentucky's got a date coming up in about a half an hour with Missouri, Georgia, and Florida. The winner of this one has the inside track to make it to Atlanta and the SEC championship. Still a lot of football left, but this one starts it off. Welcome, everybody. Brad Nessler along with Gary Danielson. Partner, when we were here a year ago, the game was almost over before the revelers found their seats. Exit Jim McElwain, enter Dan Mullen. If nothing else, and there's a lot more than nothing else, he's brought a swagger back to the Gators.
Yeah, I tell you how good he's doing. Even the demanding Gator fans think that he's doing a great job, and they're a tough crowd to please. But it's more than just his swagger. I mean, it's his expertise. He's a veteran play caller in this league, and he makes his quarterback better. That's simple as that. Felipe Franks in this game last year, with all that was throwing, was a mess in this game. But look at the change. Look at the change in just 1 year. Dan has him managed. He's not a star, but he's not a guy that's losing games. But you know, LSU last week showed the formula for Florida. Their great defense is going to have to slow down this Georgia team, and they're going to have to do it with their veterans. You know, David Reese and C.C. Jefferson have come back, and Chauncey Gardner-Edwards, their veteran safety. Those three guys who've played in a lot of these games, they have to come through.
And they're going to put pressure on Jake Fromm. We saw 2 weeks ago against LSU the last time Georgia played. We said we didn't think they'd been tested.
Right.
They got tested, and they failed that test.
They did, and I think it starts now with Kirby Smart, and I think he was very smart to really go back to his days at Alabama and tell his team that out of the 4 national championships he was a part of, only 1 was undefeated. You can do this. It's from now on. But he needs his quarterback, Jake Fromm, to come out of this little mini slump. He was the guy that really drove the team a year ago, but he had help a year ago, and I think the help is the same formula that this Georgia team used in 2017. It's got to go back to the ground and pound. I know they don't have Chubbs and they don't have Sonny Michel, but they have 2 guys that can do it in Swift and Holyfield. I look for Georgia to shorten that bench and do whatever they can to help their quarterback with the running game.
Coach Mullen, we talked about him, and moments ago, Jamie Erdahl spoke with him.
Coach, you know this rivalry well, but here's your first as a head coach. Considering those emotions, what'd you just tell the guys?
Oh, it's exciting. You know, it's exciting. Great honor to be the head coach at the University of Florida. All the tradition of the university, tradition this game. I'm fired up for the game.
What's offensive attack did you prepare for from Georgia today?
Well, both. You know, I mean, they're going to try to run the ball on us. So we got to be really physical at the line of scrimmage, and really whoever's going to control the line of scrimmage is going to win the game.
Coach, thanks.
Thank you.
So the series continues. I mentioned it started back in the 30s. There's an argument about how many times these teams have actually played. They don't agree on that. Georgia calls it the 97th edition. Florida says it's 96. They say the 1904 game in Macon didn't count because we weren't officially the University of Florida at that point. It doesn't matter anymore. The weather, we've got some wind issues at times, but other than that, it's beautiful. This is one of those stadiums, Gary, where you can never tell about the wind.
No, right. I was down on the field before the game, and you can't look at the flags and be confident that you know which way it's blowing.
Both teams 6-1. Both teams 4-1 in the conference. The winner of this one is looking good on the east side of the SEC, and maybe a chance to get to Atlanta. Evan Mcpherson to kick. And we're underway. Nico Hardman just watches it go out the back of the end zone, so Georgia will work from the 25-yard line. And with that comes our Chick-fil-A starting lineups, and it all starts with number 11. Jake Fromm, coming off one of his poor performances. He's actually around 73% completion percentage until 2 weeks ago, so it's taken a big dip with that loss to LSU. Here's the guys that join him. Isaac Nauta, one of his favorite targets at tight end. And there's two of them in there right now, Nauta and Charlie Warner. Elijah Holyfield, the single setback. Gets the first carry and goes for 4, almost 5. Adam Schuler in on the stop for the Florida defense, and it's a good defense. Comes in ranked number 15 in the country in points allowed. Moshawn Joseph is all over the field, number 11. He's right in the middle of your picture. We'll call his name a lot today. They gave Holyfield 4, second down and 6.
Funny, no secrets here. Both sides know exactly what the other side wants to do. Run the ball first between the tackles.
Terry Godwin in motion. The throw is a wide out screen over to Holloman. Holloman, whoops, big hit. Prevented him from getting the first down. Wow, head on over there. It looked like he was going to get to the sticks, and then Steiner said, I don't think so.
You're right. Boy, that was all out. That's what you see in this game. When you get these skilled wide receivers for Georgia, the ball in space, you have to tag them. If you try to arm tackle them, they're just too quick and shifty. Tackles in space for those secondary for Florida, a huge part.
Georgia's been good on 3rd and short, as you saw there, 3rd down and a yard. Fromm's going to do it himself, and they push the pile, and he's got the first down. Good surge by the Georgia offensive line there.
It's a little bit of what Georgia had to deal with last week, 2 weeks, or last week against LSU. Is 2 weeks ago is the short yardage quarterback sneak offense. You get it 3rd and 1, and Joe Burrow did that to Georgia, and I said, hey, that works. Get it to 3rd and short and take it up the middle.
Joe did it about 4 times.
Yes. 3 of them on 4th down, I think.
James Cook into the lineup for Georgia. He's spread out as a wide receiver. They keep it on the ground. Holyfield bounces off the first guy. Fromm's out in front of him. Got a little chip block, and Holyfield, big run, first down for Elijah.
See, that's exactly what I'm talking about. When you're trying to handle these skilled players for Georgia, you have to wrap up. Just come up and try to hit them hard does not work. Holyfield will spin on you every time. You got a chance, you have to wrap up those ties. That time it was Moshawn Joseph that didn't wrap up. You cannot go with the gill shot. You got to go and bring those arms.
Holyfield got 14 for number 13 and into Florida territory for the first time at the 49. Right back to him, and Holyfield again powers his way to the 42-yard line.
Let's talk, Ness, a little bit about Elijah Holyfield. As he taps out right now, I think that between he and Swift, they should get 40 touches in this game. You know, I'm looking for something like 32, 33 rushing attempts, and the rest maybe short passes or screens. And I really think Holyfield has to be on the field for at least 1/3 of the plays for Georgia. He's that much of a weapon.
Swift will take his spot, and Swift cuts it outside. A stiff arm, a second, and now he's got the edge, and he's got the speed. DeAndre Swift. So there's the combo Gary was talking about, and Georgia's in the red zone already.
And it was the stiff arm. Holyfield will run you over, and Swift uses his feet and his stiff arm to get around the corner. Great running backs. A 1-2 punch that I felt against LSU. They went away from too fast.
Yep. Holyfield back to the line of scrimmage. That's about it. Nice job by Chauncey Gardner-Johnson and company to meet him.
Yeah, coming off the edge, called blitz from the secondary. That's what Chauncey Gardner does a lot. Again, going to what this offensive line does best. They're huge. They're mammoth. They like to block straight ahead. Okay, so now 2nd and here near the goal line. This is when you start to wonder, is this where you start to go play action pass?
I still don't see that he got his pants over his knees, but he's back out there. 2nd down to go. Holyfield a setback. 2 wide out group for Jake Fromm. They're going to blitz. Fromm wrapped up by Joseph. We told you you'd see number 11 all day long, and there's his first big play.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that Georgia has to know about Todd Grantham, the defensive coordinator. There he is on the right with the red visor, orange visor. You're going to bring the linebackers. You know, he was the defensive coordinator for Georgia. He loves to blitz. So you better be ready for it. And this time, no one touches it. Again, Holyfield had him, but he was going for the block, the fake. You got to get up there and take him out.
Now it's 3rd down and goal, but the Dogs going in the wrong direction right now.
Here's where those defensive ends have to make a statement for Florida.
Draw play. DeAndre Swift straight up the middle. Got it inside the 4. And it's 4th down.
I don't think Kirby Smart will gamble here. He went for 7 points against LSU, gave up the 3. This time, I believe he's going to take the 3.
And that'll bring out Rodrigo Blankenship, his kicker, who's 10 out of 12 on the year.
It would be in your face, though, to fake one here, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would.
It would be. All right, all you critics, take that.
Jake Kumar to the hold. It'll be a 21-yard attempt by Rodrigo Blankenship. No fake field goal this week. Up and through. So Georgia's opening march was a great one until the sack by Joseph. O'Shawn Joseph saved the Gators probably 4 points on the play right there. Still, it's 3-0 Georgia. Good opening series for Georgia. 12 plays, 71 yards. Had to settle for a field goal. And Gary, as you said to me during the break, both teams, both fans.
Yeah, I think both bases are happy with the way that the drive ended. But I think Georgia's more happy with how the drive progressed.
Right. Kadarius Toney and Freddie Swain are back deep awaiting Rodrigo Blankenship's kick, but he doesn't let many come back out. He's got 47 touchbacks on 51 kickoffs this year, so those guys may not have to worry about this. And they won't. So Florida likewise will start from the 25, and that brings us to Chick-fil-A starting lineups. And it starts with their quarterback. We talked about him in the open. The sophomore, Felipe Franks. What a season and what a difference. Gary talked about it in the open already, but you see the numbers, 15 and 5. That's a far cry from a year ago. There's the offense that joins in. Martez Ivey, he knows about this. This is the 4th game he's playing in with that veteran offensive line. He's seen a lot of Dog-Gator matchups. He's at left tackle. Jordan Scarlett behind Felipe Franks. 3 wideouts to the top. And it's a flea flicker to open things up. Franks, plenty of time. Going long. Man there, and he just overshot Van Jefferson. It would have been a touchdown.
Wow. Last week, 2 weeks ago, Jake Fromm missed 2 touchdowns early in the game. Open the game with the flea flicker. Here's the 2 players you have to look at. The action brings in the safety. Tyreek McGee, number 26, and boom, he's past it. You can never get up to speed when you got a receiver going full speed. When you turn and try to catch him, you never get it. And the big arm
a little too big.
Franks were too big.
Yep. Now he's going to throw short out in the flat, the wide out screen, and this one works pretty well. 8-yard pickup for Trevon Grimes against the Georgia defense that looks like this. And one of the best around as a shutdown corner, if you will, is DeAndre Baker. We were talking with Coach Mullen. We said, do you stay away from him? He says, no, we attack everybody the same way. 3rd and 2. On the ground, Scarlett with a first down, but the ball came out, and Georgia's got it going the other way. Down the sideline. Richard LeCount has it back for the Dogs inside the 15. I think it's Monty Rice that knocked it out.
Florida has been the beneficiary of the turnover battle all season. But remember, when we did those opening games for Georgia, they were doing it with their defense, and Monty Rice was the guy. Knocked it out with the tackle. It would have been a very successful first down play, but now Georgia has the ball again, back in scoring position.
LeCount came in leading Georgia in tackles, and now he's got himself a gift And a return to the 13-yard line.
And look at this. They come right back with Holyfield. He's already had 5 touches. He only had 7 in the LSU the whole game.
He's got another touch here, but he's going to be touched down in the backfield. That didn't look right from the get-go.
They ran into each other. That didn't work.
No mesh point there except C.C. Jefferson meshing with Holyfield.
And it had to be no surprise there. You knew Grantham was going to come with the blitz. C.J. McWilliams was coming off the edge, and you saw the running back and the quarterback collide. It was a big play, again, when it could have been just handed off and try to gain 4 or 5 yards and not get behind the sticks.
Kirby looked like he was telling Elijah Holyfield, just don't worry about it. We got a lot of football left. Swift is in there now, and Fromm in the shotgun on 2nd down at 15. And it's a draw play to Swift. And that only got about a yard. Nice job by C.J. McWilliams to stay home, make the tackle. And it brings up 3rd down.
And this is the down the Florida speed rush has to win. Georgia will gain confidence if you get into 3rd and long. If it's a passing play, they have yet to throw downfield in this game. One quick screen. But if it is a drop back passing game, Georgia will gain confidence if they can keep that pass rush away from their quarterback.
Jake Fromm has not liked 3rd down and 9+, and this is 3rd and 13. Fromm floats one to the corner. Mullen, touchdown. Much better than that one.
Well, and you pick on a substitute player. Remember, we talked about Marco Wilson and C.J. Henderson not in. So what do you have? Jawan Taylor, number 29, a safety-type player. And before the ball was snapped, Jake Fromm knew where it was going.
He sure did. Blankenship's extra point is good. Well, the big play by the Georgia defense gave it back to their offense in a good spot. And Jake Fromm knew exactly what he was going to do. Richard LeCount and Monty Rice come up with the defense. Then the Dogs offense goes to work, and it's Fromm, 16-yard touchdown pass to Holloman. And Georgia leads Florida 10-0.
You know, if you're a Gator fan right now, you think back to last year, Georgia had 21 points before Florida had their first down. Now they got 10 points without their first down.
And what could have been a touchdown on a flea flicker, just a yard too long.
And what could have been a 1st down.
Yep.
So they could have had a touchdown, they could have had a 1st down. They got neither. They got a touchdown by Georgia.
Touchback number 49. Keep it on the ground here with P. Ryan. Bounced off the first guy and got 5 or 6. Looked like he was going to lose a yard. Instead, good gain. Brings up 2nd down at 4. Franks in the gun, and just inside the 30. P. Ryan waits for his blockers, puts his head down, and comes up a yard shy. Richard LeCount, the leading tackler for Georgia, who already has a fumble return today, made the tackle.
Well, you can still feel both offensive coordinators, Chaney and Mullen, calling plays, understanding that they have to help their quarterback. And here's a little wildcat to help the quarterback. No, it isn't. I'd see Franks.
He's under center. Yep. That's why it looked that way. Yeah. P. Ryan got it. Didn't have it at first, but second effort by number 22, and he bounced across the 1st down marker.
You get so used to seeing that quarterback in shotgun, don't you?
Especially with the white uniforms and helmets today, you lose them down the line.
Well, this Florida offensive line is massive and veteran as well. Ivy, Jordan, Johnson, and Taylor have played a lot of football. When we talked to Kirby, he singled them out as being veteran players.
Remember when Dan Mullen said to Jamie, maybe we'll use 2 quarterbacks today. Guess what?
Yep.
Emory Jones in at quarterback. And this is a run all the way. And out of across the 40 to the 41. Jones, a freshman out of LaGrange, Georgia. Georgia native, getting a little taste of what this matchup means.
Well, whenever you have time to do things, you have time to tweak your offense. This series is famous for that.
Yeah.
Small changes, using a fullback back in the day for Florida. Just the small changes that keeps the defense off balance. And Dan didn't just play around.
No, he didn't.
He's got an idea, and he's going to put a new quarterback in there every once in a while.
We'll see if he starts the second quarter. First quarter belongs to Georgia thanks to turnovers and a touchdown pass by Jake Fromm. End of one. 10-0 Dogs will return to Jacksonville after this message and a word from your local station. Uga enjoyed that first 15 minutes and that treat he had just about 20 seconds ago. 10-0 Dogs. Hasn't been a good first quarter for the Gators in the past month. Felipe Franks back in at quarterback as we start the second quarter. With a second down and 5 at the 41-yard line. And he's coming up throwing out in the flat, and that's going to be a first down toss. Ball came out at the end, but it's a first down for the Gators. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, Jamie's down on the field. First quarter that seemed like was really even, just the way things went, but because of the 2 turnovers, that's the difference.
Right, but what I took from it was that Swift and Holyfield had 13 rushing attempts in the first quarter. I predicted somewhere near 40.
Right.
They're in front of that curve right now. And Jake Fromm, in the last 5 quarters against Florida, has now only thrown 9 passes total.
When he doesn't have to throw a lot, he's really effective.
That's the formula that worked for them a year ago.
So with Franks back in there, the Gators have it at the 48-yard line with a first down. Here's the toss to Pirine. Pirine puts his foot in the ground and a nice cutback and a good run. Got almost 10.
You run the toss, you have to have your tight ends doing the job, and Ciante Lewis that time did a great job to get that opening and allow Pirine to just put his foot in the ground and make a first down.
They actually gave him the 10. Yep, you're right, first down. 5 out of 8 today with one misfire and one that should have been a touchdown if he'd have pulled the string a little bit on it. Now back to the ground and a loss in the play. Malik Herring on the stop on Pirine. He's going to lose a yard there. Pirine goes out and Jordan Scarlett comes back in. Jordan Scarlett off the right side. Good run. Got it to the 30. Past the original line of scrimmage. So it brings up third down and 8.
Yeah, third down and long. And I wonder, with the lack of expert play by their quarterback right now, would Dan Mullen play for a field goal here? Keep this ball on the ground, try to get this game, and put some points on the board for the Gators.
Their kicker's a freshman, and his longest this year is 48. Empty backfield for Franks on third down and 8. Georgia crowd coming to life for their defense. Franks, quarterback draw.
Yep.
Almost had the ball taken away from him.
Not surprised. You don't want your quarterback to make a mistake. You want to put some points on the board. Keep within touch to try to make this a 7-point game.
He did such a good job to get so close.
Exactly.
Now they go for it.
Will they or not? 40-yard field goal from here.
Well, they're going for it. So Franks got him a big chunk. They only need 1 more yard. Fourth down. Georgia thinking about a blitz. Play action. Franks, here comes the pressure. He lobs it incomplete. Stevens, the tight end's looking for a flag, and he got one.
He's going to get it, no doubt about it. Jawan Taylor, 44, saw the crossing tight end and grabbed it.
So they're going to get the first down.
Watch it right here. You're going to get the crossing, delay,
pass interference,
delay.
Defense, number 44. That's a spot foul with an automatic first down.
So I think you're right, Brad. You know, we talked about they're going to run on third down, but he got so much. He had a play he knew he could go to and said, I'm going to dial it. I mean, LSU did it, what, 4 or 5 times?
Yeah.
4th down kept LSU in the game and hurt Georgia.
Georgia's going to look back on their 4th down defense this season at the end of the year and go, man, we didn't do very good in those 2 games.
Yep.
First down at the 15. Scarlett trying to cut outside, and he got away. Still on his feet. Jordan Scarlett to the 1.
What a run. You pull the tackle, and the best thing to do is follow Martez Ivy, number 73. He's very athletic, great feet. And that's exactly what Scarlett did. He slowed down, he read it, and he got around the corner.
They hustle up to the line, go with some tempo here, and it's Felipe Franks, airborne, touchdown Gators.
I'll tell you, what a drive. What a well-crafted drive. Just think about this. Georgia's got a struggling quarterback, and what do? They manage him. They manage him with easy throws, trickeration. They do a little bit of quarterback draw. And then you just take the big quarterback and make the touchdown.
First, it was the Chick-Fil-A pylon cam showing us that Scarlett got it that close. And then Felipe Franks from above with the touchdown. And the extra point is up and good. And as Gary said, a well-designed march all the way down the field. 14 plays, 76 yards, 2 different quarterbacks, over 7 minutes, and Franks over from the 1. It's 10-7, Georgia. CBS legend and our dear friend Vern Lundquist at the game today. Lauren Smith, Georgia historian and legend also. Sitting together.
I saw Vern with his iPhone up. Do you think he's figured out how to use that thing yet?
I don't know. I still thought he had a flip phone, but that's a whole different deal. I got everybody's attention down in the dining tent today when Vern walked in. He got about a 2-minute ovation. It was great to see him. Here's a short kick. Don't see many of these. Taking on the fly is Mecole Hardman, and he can fly. Knocked down those. He crossed the 31-yard line. Elijah Holyfield for about 5. Seems like every time you give it to number 13, that's what you say, about 5, or maybe breaks a tackle and ends up with 5, 10, 15.
Well, I know Kirby bristled at all of the questions about why didn't you give the ball to Elijah Holyfield, but I think he watched the game too. Okay, you got to protect your team and your play callers and your coaches, but I think he walked into that offensive meeting and said, why didn't 13 and 7 get more carries?
Here's a jet sweep to James Cook, the freshman. And Cook dragged down, but he's going to get the, well, I don't know. He has the first down or not.
Yeah,
very close.
Right at the yellow line.
James is going to be coming right at you.
Good block by Warner to get him around the corner.
Sean Davis got him down.
Yep.
Let's see if it's Jake Fromm or if it's Brian Herrion. 3rd down and 6 inches. Hardman, they give it to him on a jet sweep, trying to get a big play, and they don't. What a play again by Sean Davis.
Man, that's a gamble that you got to wonder about. You're a genius if it works, and we're all bragging about the great call, but it's a few inches for a first down and to control the clock. It's reminiscent of going for the fake field goal against LSU. Yeah, if it works, you're a genius. But if it doesn't, you almost got a sure first down if you run the sneak.
Think about Sean Davis, the sophomore out of Miami. He made the stop that brought Cook 6 inches shy of the first down, and then he dropped Mecole Hardman on the next play. Camarda's punt. Nice one. Freddie Swain backpedals to the 24. And he's going to go down right about there. Good punt coverage by Georgia. There's a flag down as well. Dogs. First down at the 27. Franks will give it on the ground to Scarlett. Monty Rice has got him wrapped up. He got about 3 on his forward progress before the whistles blow.
You know, one of the statistics that Georgia has not loved about their team this year is they only have 9 sacks.
Yeah.
But if you go back to last year's game against Florida, at this point, they only had 10 sacks into this game. They had 5 in this game and ended up with 24 in the last 8 games. They caught fire in this game. Can that Georgia pass rush catch fire?
DeAndre Walker is their top sack guy. And he's on the top of that defensive line. 2nd down and 7. Emory Jones, again, the other quarterback. And he's short of the 1st down to bring up 3rd down and a long one, maybe 2.
Keep Georgia's defense off balance any way you can. And Wildcat obviously is part of it.
It's all of a yard on 3rd down. Need to get between the 37 and 38-yard line for a 1st down. As you see, we're under 2 minutes in the half. Jones stays in there. It's his run all the way. No, he tried to pitch. Fumbled. He's back on top of it, I think. He is. But it's going to be 4th down. Malik Herring's the guy that hit him.
Both offenses, Georgia on 3rd and short and Florida on 3rd and short, got a little bit cute with their play. And now you got to wonder why Georgia's not stopping the clock.
It's 1:15 and counting down.
I mean, why? You get a 40-second play.
Unless they're coming after the punter. They got everybody up there now. They drop one back. Nicole Hardman is the guy waiting on the other end. They've got the return on. Wow, hit this a mile in the air. Hardman's got to call a fair catch and get everybody out of the way. Bounces around at the 21-yard line. So 50 seconds remaining, and that's all Georgia's got to work, and they still got 2 timeouts, but they probably should have only had 1 timeout at this point. 2 timeouts to work, 50 seconds. Need to get a pretty good chunk to even give Blankenship a chance. Fromm's going to throw it short to Nada. Nada up the sideline, back in the middle of the field, and he's got a big chunk of it out across the 45.
Got to be a bust. You can't play man coverage and not cover one of the receivers.
So the guy we highlighted in the offense for Georgia comes up with a big play and a pickup of 27 for the tight end. Fromm going hurry up. Going to go right back to the same guy, same spot. And out of bounds to stop the clock.
And it looked like the same defense, and you got to guess it was Bashan Joseph that didn't cover him on the play before. So now you get Georgia trying to throw a 5-yard pass, and they get a big play out of it. And all of a sudden they're in position to get a field goal attempt.
They only need about 10 more yards to give Rodrigo Blankenship a crack at it.
I mean, think about it. You try to throw a 5-yarder, you get 27 yards.
2nd and 4 here, just outside the Gator 46. Fromm looks left now, back across the middle, and got his man. That's not a 3 in a row. 1st down.
Well, this is a little different. You do not see Jake Fromm throw the ball a lot in the middle of the field to the tight end on top of it. And he threaded that one.
23 more. Fromm looking for more. Out in the flat. It's Isaac Nada show right now. 4 straight to number 18.
He's going to need a blow.
15 seconds left, 2 timeouts. Ball is at the 13-yard line.
Got plenty of time now. Got time for 3 plays if you do it right.
Isaac says, I got to take my helmet off. I'm gassed. DeAndre Swift is in the backfield with Jake Fromm. On 2nd down and short. Fromm across the middle, got it. Nicole Hardman. Hardman out at the 5. It's 1st and goal.
Still have time for 2 more throws, and you can throw it anywhere on the field because of your timeout situation here. Wait for Miko Hardman to come across and lay it right in there.
1st and goal really doesn't matter. They're 5 yards away from the end zone. That's what they're hoping for.
And they can call again anything they want. They could go quarterback draw. They can throw it. Anything at their fingertips.
Riley Ridley is at the bottom of the screen. Charlie Werner, the tight end, just moved over in the slot on the left. The throw is to Ridley, and it's knocked down. Nice play defensively. C.J. McWilliams, and there's 6 seconds remaining.
One-on-one. Got a lot of open field to his left. Goes for the jump ball, and McWilliams, if he got both hands on that, could have caught this ball. Kept his left hand on Riley, but could have made it.
And they're going to bring out Rodrigo right now, I guess. Florida's got a mix-up on their defensive set.
I think Dan Mullen is thrilled. And remember, not taking that timeout earlier have cost them tries for a touchdown here.
This is a 22-yarder. Blankenship hit a 21-yarder earlier in the game. Oop, just got it inside the right upright.
I think Kirby will be upset with going into halftime with 2 timeouts right there, and not a chance for a touchdown.
And that's where we are at 13-7. For Jamie's halftime interview with Coach Smart, go to Twitter at SEC on CBS. 13-7 Dogs as we head to Adam Zucker and the guys in our New York studio. And just about set to start the third quarter as you look at the St. Johns River above Jacksonville. 13-7. The Dogs at halftime got a late field goal. Welcome back, everybody. Brad Nessler and Gary Danielson. It's funny, 2 70-yard-plus drives for Georgia, both end in field goals. Florida's outrushed them. They've had the time of possession. Still Georgia in front. 2
big stops for that Florida defense. I think you're right on. That's the story of the first half, that Georgia moved the ball, but they did not come up with touchdowns. The other part is, we mentioned that Swift and Holyfield had 13 carries in the first quarter.
Right.
Only 1 in the second quarter.
And you want them on a pace for 40.
I do. I think everything goes off those 2 guys. I mean, Fromm plays better. The last drive, Florida was conceding some yardage, and then he made the great throw over the middle. But I think you got to start there. And I'm surprised they did not get as many touches in that second quarter, and Georgia struggled.
Kadarius Toney and Freddie Swain are back there on the other end as we start the second half. Yeah, this one's returnable. From the 1-yard line is Toney. Cuts back to the middle. Nice move across the 20. Kadarius Toney got the kicker to beat. Blankenship at least stood him up to get him out of bounds. Great way to start the third quarter. As we told you, or I mentioned earlier, there's only been 5 times this year that Rodrigo Blankenship hasn't kicked the ball out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. He would love to have kicked that one a little bit farther, I'll tell you that much. 51-yard return to open the third quarter. First down at the 48. Scarlett. And he bangs his way for about 5 as we check in with Jamie.
Well, I guess when I asked Dan Mullen what spark they needed in the second half, that return answered the question. Dan Mullen said they've executed their game plan to the best of their ability, but the problem has lied in the execution on defense and on the offensive side of the ball. He said this is actually the worst executed game they have played so far this season, and they're still in it. So he said as long as we start clicking, things will work for us.
Clicking right now to the 42-yard line. And they option Scarlett on the trailer, and he's got the first down.
Yeah, it's an option. It looks like it's almost designed to be a late pitch. It does not feel, he runs the option like I ran the option. Like, when can I get rid of this ball? I'm going, get rid of it, please, please. And then watch the cut right up there, make it a positive north-south run.
Great way for the Gators to start this third quarter and this opening minute. They got it to the Georgia 36. Franks looking at the sideline to Dan Mullen. Now back steps into the shotgun, back up to the line. Doing a little dozy-do here with 6 seconds on the play clock. On first down, Felipe going deep middle. Got his man in stride and Swain. Touchdown. The best ball he's thrown all day.
Whoa, he didn't pull the string on that one, did he?
No.
That was a fastball, and you seen the arm talent that Felipe Franks has. And why he was so highly recruited. He drills it, and he beats the safety on the throw. Watch this throw. Boom! The safety thinks he's got it. It's a fastball right by him.
What a way to open the quarter. Extra point is up and good, and Florida has its first lead of the day. Remember the great kickoff return by Kadarius Toney. Got the Gators in dog land at the 48, and then it just took 3 plays. And Felipe Franks caps it off with his 16th touchdown pass of the season. As Gary said, it was a BB. Gators in front. The complexion of the entire game in 1 minute and 25 seconds changed. Tony's kickoff return and then a 3-play drive for the score. Now Georgia will try to bring one out of the end zone. Mecole Hardman. Hardman across the 20 and out to the 28-yard line.
Short.
The Gators by 1. Elijah Holyfield plowing his way, still on his feet, got out almost 8 yards.
Don't really understand why he doesn't get the ball more. I really don't.
Well, for Elijah, that's going to be his 9th carry.
I mean, I played a lot of years with a guy named Billy Sims. He didn't get tired until he had the ball 35 times.
There's the running back comparison so far today. So they've got 15 rushes between them. And Gary said in the opening, again, we mentioned it at halftime, Georgia would be in good shape if those two guys totaled it about 40 times. Here comes Holyfield again. First down, out to the 44. 5'11", 215-pound junior out of College Park. You saw earlier his daddy's here, 4-time heavyweight champion Evander Holyfield, here for the festivities. Evander might have been the first guy in the stands today. I think we were sitting there going, there's the champ. There's the champ. He was here early. Didn't even want to miss warm-ups. First down. Holloman in motion. Holyfield up the gut for 2 or 3. David Reese in on the stop for Florida.
Just an update on Andrew Thomas, number 71, who left the game with that ankle injury. It is Kendall Baker that is in there at left tackle, number 65. We didn't know if Cade Mays, the true freshman, was going to go over there, but they moved Kendall Baker to that left tackle spot here for Georgia.
Jamie's got more, I think.
Yeah, and Benjamin Cleveland is actually dressed for this game. This is the first time he's been available to that offensive line, but the team is telling me they'd be surprised if he could go in.
Fromm's got a man wide open. It's the other tight end, Charlie Warner. Down close to the 20.
Yeah, bus. Nice play call, nice design. Perfect. You think you're going to go to the quick screen to the outside. The tight end goes up the field. The Georgia players both bite. And you got to give me to the outside. And this time, Fromm does not miss it like he did in that game against LSU.
35-yard pickup. Now it's out in the flats to DeAndre Swift. Spins his way to about the 16.
You know, Brad, as we watch this, we've seen no Justin Fields. It doesn't not appear that Jake Fromm's more comfortable in this game.
Yep.
He just seems to be more himself. I mean, everybody talks about it's no big deal getting taken out, but it does.
Swift trying to get to the edge. Stiff arm, not quite. Nice job defensively by Jawan Taylor. To go back to your point, maybe he's not looking over his shoulder, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I just think he looks calmer in this game. They're not counting on him to do everything. That last drive before the half, he started off very simple and then made the great throw over the middle to Nauta.
Nauta caught 4 in that drive. Werner, the other tight end, had the big gainer to get them where they are. And now Holyfield back in.
Can Florida force another field goal?
Thinking about a blitz. Here they come. Fromm calmly throws. Holloman touchdown. Wow. Second of the day from number 11 to number 9. You can't throw a fade much better than that.
Remember at the end of the half, he missed Ridley on a fade. He threw it a little short. This time he did. He had Holloman to the outside. C.J. McWilliams, you can't cover it any better than that. Perfect execution by Georgia.
Chick-Fil-A pylon cam. Kind of a combination fade and back shoulder throw.
You know, when I was watching in warm-ups, they were practicing grabbing that ball high and ripping it away from the defender, and it's exactly what he did.
And Rodriguez rips the extra point. Georgia, 3-minute drive, 72 yards. Jake Fromm, as Gary said, looking calm, cool, and collected. Can't do it much better than that. Second one to number 9 today, and Georgia is back in front. That's what you do if you're not a football fan today for the 97th edition of Florida and Georgia. Fromm to Holloman twice today. The last one capped 72-yard drive in 3 minutes and 2 seconds. And what an opening 4.5 minutes we've had, partner.
Both sides have got the execution in the offense. As Dan Mullen told Jamie, the plays are there. We haven't executed them. I think that's exactly what's happened in that first half. Maybe both teams a little tight, how important this game was.
I think Blankenship will try to kick this one into the St. Johns River after what happened to the last one.
Or maybe the guys covering will say he might not get it in the river.
Yeah, he got all of this one. First down again on the ground, P-Ryan. And again, he got about 4 out of nothing. Monty Rice, who was a leading tackler for Georgia in the first half, with 8, and he's got another one here.
See, this is what you're almost taking half the field away. When you play any of the combo coverages, you can do that because of what Baker does. It was a great throw by Felipe Franks that beat the defense.
And here is the option on the pitch. The trailer to P-Ryan, and Georgia snipped it out this time. DeAndre Walker made first contact and got help from the rest of his dog friends.
And he did the great job. That's the athleticism of those outside linebacker / defensive ends. When you can force the pitch and then go make the play. Again, though, that's not Navy Georgia Tech option. And I think Walker had seen it enough that he said, I'm going to fake and I'm going to go get the pitch this time.
Big 3rd down and 8 here. Neither team's been stopped this quarter.
Can the Georgia pass rush get to the quarterback?
Franks out in the flat. The pass is complete, but there's a lot of red jerseys there, and Cleveland's going nowhere. Punting time for the Gators.
You drop back and you triangulate. When the back catches the ball short of the first down, you got to know where your help is. Watch Jawan Taylor. He knows where his help is on the play. When the ball is caught, he stays inside, forces him to his help, and then makes the play. Beautiful job. He didn't overrun it. He broke down and then broke down and make the play.
Triangulate. I like that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good one. Hardman back. Tommy Townsend to punt. He had a 71-yarder earlier, and he had one that hit our Skycam wire. This one might actually be returnable. Hardman from the 21. Little stutter step and then straight up the middle. Nicole Hardman still going out to the 45-yard line. About 25 on the return. Even though the foot and the ankle were a little sore earlier, nothing wrong with him there. Georgia by 6.
Both projected starting corners for Florida, C.J. Henderson and Marco Wilson, are off the field. They're going with the true freshman, number 21, and number 12, C.J. McLaurin.
Georgia with a first down at the 46.
Do they pound here, or do they go for the big play?
You want to take a shot?
I think they pound.
Swift is in the backfield. Fromm pump fakes and goes deep and over the head of everybody. Out of bounds. Incomplete. That's only his 4th incompletion of the day.
Yeah, it wasn't that tricky, was it?
No.
They did go after the freshman, though, number 21, Trey Dean.
Trey Dean, a Georgia native out of Hampton.
So now can Georgia get it back to 3rd and medium? That's the goal here. You got to win 1st and 2nd down. You can win it on 1st, or you can win it on 2nd.
It's DeAndre Swift. And he got it to 3rd and about 4.
There you go. You take a shot on 1st down, and then you get it into manageable position, very similar to an NFL-style game here. You're not quite sure you can handle the pass rush, so you make sure that your quarterback doesn't get in the 3rd and long.
It's 3rd down. 3rd down and 18. As you know that Polite and Zuniga and Jefferson and those guys are going to be coming. That's Werner, the tight end, that'll settle in on the right side. He's going to help with the blocking. The throw is going to be a screen to DeAndre Swift. Nice cut back to the middle. And Swift got a big chunk of it back and got it into Rodrigo Blankenship's range, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be, what, 54, 5 yards, right? 53-yarder?
He's got a 53-yarder this year against Vandy. His career long's 55 against Oklahoma in the playoffs.
They're going to
kick it.
Yep.
Camarda's had a hard time dropping punts inside the 10 this year. The freshman has got a big leg. They thought about a possible field goal. Let's see if Camarda keeps it in the field of play. Boy, did he ever. Miko Hardman at the 1.
Miko went to the exact spot where the ball went. How did he know that? I'm going to go 4 yards outside the hash, and the ball bounded right to him.
A lot of people say, why do you play your superstars on special teams? That's why you do it.
Man.
Perfect. Franks in the end zone. Now everybody's set. Scarlett with Franks in the backfield. It's going to be Franks to just try to get him a little room. That ball came out. Georgia's got it. Touchdown. Trey Crowder. It might be down to the 1.
He bounced over, I think. NFL, it's a touchdown for sure, but when he catches it, I think his elbows are on the ground.
Pulling on the field is a fumble recovered by Georgia. First down.
Now we got to see if Frank's knees were on the ground or his elbows before the fumble. The last time, let's see if we can see Franks. Does it come out late? Yes, I think the ball was kicked out of his hand before he hit. The ball is loose. That is going to go down, and it was ripped out by Tyreek McGee.
Holyfield behind his fullback, but it's Fromm trying to do it himself. Did he get enough push? Everybody's pushing in there, and he's short. So that's 3 run stops out of the last 4 plays for the Gators.
It's amazing. And remember, the size of this Georgia offensive line is gigantic. One of the biggest offensive lines in college football, and they cannot move that Gator front.
Franks had a touchdown over the top earlier. Fromm tried to bulldoze his way and couldn't get there. 2nd down and goal.
They've gone left every play.
Fromm again, trying to backpedal. I think he got it this time. No signal yet.
No. If you were an official, wouldn't you make him earn this touchdown? I got to see the guy in the end zone before I give him a touchdown on the play.
I'm still looking for 11 to get up. There he is.
Well, one thing they're doing, taking time off the clock.
That's for sure. I thought right there he was going to have to fall down, but Florida wouldn't let him.
Yep.
Well, this has been something. We're down to a minute and change in the 3rd quarter. 3rd and goal. Holyfield. No! Didn't get there.
Saninga again from the backside, but tell you that, he got there because there was no push up the middle.
Now what do you do?
Come on, this is a legendary defense here now.
Wow. That's something.
7 plays. This is legendary. If Florida can get back in this game, this will be talked about.
This drive started at the 1. It's now at the 1.5.
Unbelievable. And there was 2 penalties on top of it.
Blankenship. This is closer than an extra point. And it's up and perfect.
And Kirby, I knew your competitive instincts, if you're Kirby, you cannot want to kick that field goal, but you have no choice. You have to make it a 9-point game.
Boy, they'll be yapping about that goal line stand for a while, I think, in this series.
And think about it, Georgia's been down there 3 times, but not like this. That's a drive line you won't see ever again.
6 plays, no yards, 4 minutes, and a field goal. I don't think we've had one of those together before.
4-minute drive for -1 yard. 3 penalties also in that drive, all against Florida.
We got about 1 play left in the 3rd quarter here. So Florida now from the 25. Jordan Scarlett stood up at the line of scrimmage. Tay Crowder and Monty Rice and our other group of Bulldogs in on the stop as the 3rd quarter does come to a close. We're going to have a great 15 more minutes. Don't go anywhere. Into 3, 23-14 Georgia. We'll return to Jacksonville after this message and a word from your local station. And it has been a battle for 3 quarters. Set to start the 4th. in Jacksonville. Georgia by 9. And the Gators with a 2nd and 10. Franks rolls to his right, looking to throw. Now he's going to tuck it and keep it. He's got a lot of green out there and picked up almost 20. So first down for Florida to start the 4th quarter, and that's just what they want to do. We've had a little bit of everything in this one, haven't we?
Unbelievable. It's not for the faint of heart out there. You better bring it because the other guys bring it. I just love this flow. I like passing, but I love what I just saw. Both teams give it an A.
Goal line stand by Florida was remarkable. Keep it a 9-point game right now, as we're going to have an exciting 4th quarter. Franks, after that long run, gets a breather, and Emory Jones, who's played several snaps today, comes in at quarterback for the Gators. One of them coming in motion, and he's going to flip it out to Kadarius Toney. Toney puts the brakes on, but Georgia puts the brakes on him. J.R. Reed, the first guy there.
Yeah, get me once. Okay, good for you. Second time, I'm a veteran. And J.R. Reed does not miss these type of tackles. Comes up and wraps up.
So no gain on the play. Back, he lost a yard. 2nd down and 11. 2 minutes into the 4th quarter. Play clock winds down to 4 at the snap. It's Franks on a run all the way, and he's tripped up by Juwan Taylor.
Both teams with the basic same game plan. If first down doesn't work, get half of it on 2nd down.
3rd down and 8. Biggest 3rd down of the day for the Gators is at hand.
Again, can Georgia get that pass rush? They have not been able to pressure the quarterback.
Gators have 2 tight ends in there.
Remember, a field goal is huge for Florida. Will they even try to throw?
They won't. Pirine, nice game, and that'll set up the field goal attempts, we assume, at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, you got to go for it. You might not have a great kicker, but you got to trust him here, I think. It's 4th and 2 long.
Here he comes.
I saw Tebow was here, but he's not in a Gator uniform today.
Evan Mcpherson, the freshman out of Fort Payne, Alabama. 11 of 12 on the year with as long as 48. This will be a 42-yard field goal attempt to try to make it a 1-possession game. McPherson's 42-yarder is good. Big kick and a flag down.
The ruling on the field is the field goal is good. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Georgia, number 52.
So it's a post-kick foul, so the points stay. The penalty will be coming up.
I always wonder here if you have a play for this. You know, they have a play up for everything. Do you have like a pooch onside kick?
I was going to say, got a different kicker in there right now, Jorge Powell. And it is just kind of a jump ball, but a fair catch taken for it. The 11 puts it at the 25.
Yep, the new rule.
On first down, it's a play fake bootleg. Fromm comes up slinging it, and he's got it complete. And it's Riley Ridley, and a first down for the Dogs.
And when you look at it, and Cheney's looking at the same thing we are, they started out running the ball very effectively, but sent 64 yards in the first quarter. They've only had 54 yards sent. And that's why you see Cheney says, I'm not going to look at 6 plays going up the middle against these guys again.
Fromm looking left the whole way, fires that way, and he's got his man. It's complete to Holloman again. That's been his big play guy when he hasn't been throwing to his tight end Nana.
I tell you, you got to think of the irony here about Jake Fromm. okay, as he drops back. For 2 weeks, he's been hearing about his poor game and the fact that they should let Justin Fields play. And look at it right now. He's the guy that has to win it for him.
The throw, that one knocked out. Had his hands out, Holloman did, but nice job of fighting it. C.J. Williams popped it out of there.
And now as they get closer to field goal range, 3rd and Grantham, even though it's 2nd down, his MO is he brings guys after the quarterback. If I was calling plays for Georgia, I would expect Florida to bring some people. There's Todd right there.
DeAndre Swift in the backfield with Fromm. They need to get to the 36-yard line for a first down. They keep it on the ground to Swift. Swift puts his foot in the ground into the secondary.
Man.
First down, Georgia.
You called it, Ness. He got to the 2nd level, and he made that one cut. He had Chauncey Gardner-Johnson on him, but he got to the 2nd level and beat Donovan Steiner.
Double pump, Fromm throws, knocked down, incomplete. Sean Davis had a good game today, got his hands on that one.
Yeah, not a good route that time by Warner. He faded away from the throw. He's got to go flat, or that defensive back will cut underneath you and have the potential interception.
We're down to 9:25 to go. Even if Georgia could only get a field goal, they would make it a 2-possession situation again. But right now they're thinking more at the 25 of the Gators. Holyfield. He's trying, but they're not letting him. Got a yard. Polite. Ja'Kai Polite.
It is an interesting call. Field goal range, as Brad told you, makes it a 9-point game here. Remember when Kirby was down there at the end of the half. He had 6 seconds, and he said, no, I'm not going to gamble. I want 3 points. I wonder if he sticks to that thinking.
All 3 receivers to the right. 3rd down and 9. Fromm fires. Caught. Touchdown. Terry Godwin. Again on 3rd down for the 3rd time. Fromm, a touchdown throw on 3rd and long.
I mean, and this isn't even a good throw. This is a great throw. Godwin gets on the safety and breaks out, and it is a strike.
That's pretty. Georgia's going to go for 2.
What a throw. You just can't do it any better than that.
All 3 of his touchdown throws today have been perfect. Let's see if he's got a 2-point conversion in him. Swift flank to his left. They flip it to Crumpton, and he's dropped.
Yeah.
Nice job by Ja'Kai Polite.
I think after this game, Georgia's going to say, we can't get too close. That's our problem.
8:39 remaining. Georgia goes 75 yards in 9 plays in 2.5 minutes. And the strike to the veteran Terry Godwin. Touchdown, Dogs. So back to a 2-possession situation.
He made his name for himself in 3rd down Grantham when he got bit.
Blankenship's kick will sail almost out of the back of the end zone. So Florida starts from the 25, and now they have an uphill battle. Stands tall, got hammered as he let the ball go. Incomplete, no flags. Jonathan Ledbetter gave him one after he let go of the ball.
And that's the first time I think I can remember they've gone after number 18, DeAndre Baker. And as the All-American, you see the hit that Felipe took.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you want to play quarterback?
Yeah, I remember that. They pay you well, but you pay for it sometimes.
Still not 100 yards passing for Franks. He had that one beauty to Freddie Swain. He needs a few more of them. Fake the draw play. He still got it, and he's got to throw it away. great play fake. Had Georgia kind of on their heels, but nobody open. And DeAndre Walker got some late pressure for Georgia.
I think he wanted to go back over here and watch number 18 try to get away. Nothing there. Nobody to throw to, and he has to get rid of the football.
And now the Georgia fans all fired up about a 3rd and 10.
8 minutes to go. Do you get it close enough where you would even think about 4-down territory? I think it's too early yet.
Quick throw out in the flats. Incomplete, in and out of the hands. Cleveland was thinking about where he was going to run, and he forgot to take the mail with him. 4th down.
Just don't have the confidence in your passing game in one play to lose the game. You throw it out here to the side. If you get 5 or 6 yards, you live with it. 3rd and 15, you just don't have the confidence in your quarterback to throw that ball down the middle to pick up a 1st down.
And the chants of UGA reverberating around the stadium here in Jacksonville. Townsend to punt. Nico Hardman backpedals, takes a fair catch around the 33 or 34-yard line. And that's where Georgia's got it with a 12-point cushion and only 8:13 to go. 8:13 to put themselves in the driver's seat to control their own destiny in the East. As the sun goes down in Jacksonville, is the sun going down in Florida's chances in the SEC East? There's where it is right now. Kentucky, we understand, is losing to Missouri with about 14 to play in the 4th quarter. Georgia has Kentucky next week. If they beat Florida and they beat Kentucky, I know where they're going to be.
Yep.
First week of December.
You got it. So what does staying aggressive now mean for Georgia? Because if you get a 3-play 1st down, you could take off 3.5 minutes off this clock. Okay, so every 1st down, you could take 3 to 4 minutes off the clock. Can they pound it and make 1st downs?
DeAndre Swift will take the first crack at it, and he goes for about 4. So there goes another 40 seconds. They play it right.
Or at least force Florida to use their timeouts.
Of which they have 2 remaining.
And again, you should manage this under 5 seconds before you snap that ball on the play clock.
And though he's only a sophomore, Jake Fromm, every coach will tell you, is a master of thinking about what's coming up and controlling the game.
Yeah. And you know what else he brought today? Besides thinking, he brought his arm today.
He did. He sure did.
Jeez.
3 touchdown passes and no interceptions.
Beautiful.
Down to 4 on the play clock and the snap, and it's Jake that's going to try to keep it himself. Got a couple more, and it's 3rd down and 4. But again, the clock is the enemy of the Gators.
Yeah, and the Gator defense has to feel good about stopping the Georgia running game right now. Okay, they had the big run by Swift, but in these short yardage situations, the Gator defense has been tough to penetrate.
The receivers are Simmons and Ridley and Hardman. 2 guys in the backfield, both Brian Herrien and Elijah Holyfield, flanking Jake Fromm on a 3rd and 4. Fromm fires, and there's the 1st down, and it's Riley Ridley. He puts the brakes on and heads downfield. Big throw and catch. Fromm to Ridley, and Georgia's back in Florida territory with 6:41 to go.
Like his brother, Calvin Ridley, this is a perfect route. This is a professional stop route. You call it a lock comeback against man-to-man press coverage. And I'll tell you, C.J. McWilliams is going, why me?
Georgia just taking its time. Everybody up at the line of scrimmage, not wasting time in a huddle. Watching that clock work down and then waiting for number 11 to call the signal when to go or clap his hands. Right there. Elijah Holyfield blasts his way. It looked like it was going to be a 2-yard pickup, and it's about 5. With 5.5 to go. 2nd down and 5. And again, Fromm works it down to 2 on the snap. Holyfield runs into a wave of white, led by David Reese. And No gain on the play.
Dan Mullen still holding on to those timeouts. This drive started with about, what, 8:10, 8:13 on the clock? Yep, 8:13 on the clock. And I would say, of course, if he gets a stop here, Dan will take a timeout.
And now Fromm has been brilliant on 3rd down today. Does he have one more throw, or do they play it safe? We're about to find out.
It's been safe throwing, too.
The way he's been throwing.
Yeah, they got to trust him.
They use all the clock again. DeAndre Swift. And he's got the first down, and he's got a bunch more. DeAndre Swift to the house. Touchdown. The Dogs have got to be thinking, just get it to 3rd down so we can score a touchdown. Another touchdown on 3rd down. This one 33 yards for number 7, Gary.
Number 53, Lamont Gilliard, blocks 2 men on the play. LSU's Ed Orgeron told us he's the best center he's seen, and he showed it on that play. The left side of the line. He, Kinley, and Thomas all got blocks. Lamont Gilliard got 2.
Blankenship's extra point is good. Look at the smile on Kirby Smart's face.
I'll tell you, hats off to Andrew Thomas coming in playing injured, but watch the center do his work. Help out on the left guard and then get to the 2nd level for the play. Wow, what a play.
Wide receivers got some blocks too, and it's 36-17. 36-17 with 4.5 minutes to play. As Georgia just went 66 yards in 6 plays. Used just about 4 minutes off the clock, and that guy capped it with a 33-yard touchdown run. And Florida will have to start from the 25. He's a beauty, that's for sure. Franks out to the tight end. Only about 4 yards for Morris Stevens.
Think of all the decisions that had to be made by Georgia staff this week. People saying, you got to go to the back. No, one more hug for Shady. You got to go to the backup point. You got to use both guys. You got to do this. You got to do that. And what do? They double down on Jake Fromm. Justin Fields has not played one play in this football game.
And Fromm's been brilliant. Franks getting some pressure down the middle. Good throw. Got it complete. First down to Grimes. Momentarily stopped at 3:55.
Well, Georgia has answered the bell. There was talk about that schedule wasn't tough enough for them before they played LSU. Remember?
Yep.
Well, now they seem more battle tested. This could be the run that they had last year.
You know, sometimes, as P-Line has another nice run, sometimes the adversity, you can coach that. You go, hey, you know, we got too big for our own britches.
Right. Yep. Take advantage of it. I think Kirby did a great job of pointing out his Alabama teams when he was there, lost games and came back. A year ago, they had that Notre Dame game in their pocket.
Right.
And they had that tough game. This year, they were never pushed until LSU.
Franks on 2nd and 4, and Georgia gets home that time. Julian Rochester with the sack.
Well, I really believe, though, if you look, obviously this game, barring a huge miracle, is going to go Georgia's way. But I think Florida's playing with house money here, okay? It's been a successful season. They held this into a 4th quarter, 5-minute football game, and now they still have a chance to win 10 football games.
That's right. Georgia about to go to 7-1. The playoff selection committee gets together, or is together already, watching ball this weekend, and the first rankings come out on Tuesday night. And Georgia's certainly not going to move anywhere, I don't think, out of this number 7 that's the ranking so far.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody who watched tapes of Florida play this year, they knew they were improved, but I don't think anybody said, you know, this is a national championship team. I think everybody said, hey, give Dan his 1 year to rebuild, like Saban had it when he went to Alabama. Kirby had it with 1 year at Georgia. Give Dan Mullen 1 year to retool this thing.
As we said, he has made it way more interesting than it was last year. And it's given Florida fans something to cheer about, but they're all out in the parking lot right now, and all the Georgia fans are still in here with 2 minutes to go. Last chance, and incomplete, and Georgia will get it back. Kadarius Toney, the intended receiver.
Well, it was all Georgia in the fourth quarter. After the Gators pulled within, scoring this of 23-17, it was Georgia with a touchdown, Georgia with a 3-and-out against Florida, and then another touchdown. This has all been window dressing at the end of the game.
Yep. Elijah Holyfield on the edge and wisely stays in bounds. DeAndre Swift, by the way, with that touchdown run, went over the 100-yard mark for the first time in his career. And you saw he and Elijah clapping over on the sideline together. The 1-2 punch. They've done the 1-2 punch again today.
Yeah, and I think this is the way it's going to look. Barring an injury, I'm not surprised that Georgia has shortened their bench at running back. I mean, Harriman and Cook are fine players. Right. But they're not as good as these two guys right now. Maybe they will be next year, but not now. Next game even, you know what I mean? You never know. A sprained ankle and you're going to get your chance anytime.
Holyfield again cuts off the left side to get the first down. Puts both arms around the ball. And another first down, Georgia, and that'll just about do it. And you know what? Jake Fromm 2 weeks ago, arguably his worst game ever. I said that to Kirby Smart. Kirby kind of took offense. He said, guys like you said that, not me. And look how he came back this week.
Well, it's just playing quarterback. That's the way it is. I mean, this is a tough league. You come here to play against the best football players in the country. It ain't easy. You're going to have ups and downs. Playing at LSU ain't easy.
Well, whether it's the 97th edition of this game or the 96th, depends on which team you talk to. This one was all Georgia when they needed it to be in the fourth quarter. 36-17. And that's how the standings look now. Remember, Kentucky is still playing against Mizzou, but Florida falls a game behind, and Georgia's in the driver's seat. If they can take care of their own business, they know they can get back to Atlanta and defend their SEC championship. And from not a good game to one of his best, number 11.
Well, the stage has been set for Georgia now. It's Jake Fromm's football team.
I think so, for sure. I don't think there's any doubt about it. You and I have been talking about it off the air all week long, or for 2 weeks for that matter. And I think we both agreed, if you're not going to have Justin Fields play the entire game, give it to Jake Fromm and said, go win the games.
Get out of the way.
No offense to number 1, but the guy with 2 1s on his jersey was pretty special today, and the winning coach is with Jamie.
He's taking a couple photos right now, so let me find him. Hang on, we're getting there. We're getting there, Coach. I know he's a friendly fire after the game. You're all right, Coach. We saw a big smile on your face there in the fourth quarter. You really separated in the second half. What was the difference?
The difference was we got kids with character. And everybody questioned these kids because we didn't play our best game, and all they did was work. And all we did was work. And everybody questioned and questioned, and they are tough, physical kids. We still got a long way to go, but we got better today.
Some of those questions were about Jake Fromm after that game 2 weeks ago. What can you say about his performance tonight?
He's a competitor. He plays his butt off. And look, guys, we got 2 good quarterbacks, and we didn't get to play Justin Fields today, but this guy played his butt off, and everybody in the world second-guessing him the whole time. We got kids with character on this team, and they played their heart out. I'm so proud of the way they played. I'm proud for the University of Georgia.
Coach, thanks.
Thank you.
Big win. 36-17 the final. For Gary Danielson and Jamie Erdahl, Brad Nessler saying so long. The Dogs are in the front of the SEC East. CBS Sports College Football Postgame Show presented by Capital One. Coming up after these messages. So long from Jacksonville.